All right, guys, welcome back to the number 2 podcast in the world, the Late Night Level Up. I'm your host, Jason Farrell. With me today is my man, Geoff Quares. Quares, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Perfect. Yeah,
Perfect.
I respond to anything.
That's how I
If
am
you're
too.
looking at me, if you're looking at
I'm
me.
I'm I'm Farrell, Pharrell,
Yeah,
for real. I've had just about everything. Yeah, so I can
yeah,
dig it.
yeah. My first name is usually the hard part getting over. I get
They call you like
Godfrey, George,
Geoff.
Geoff. Yeah, yeah,
Fuckers, man. Yeah.
exactly. But hey, it works.
Well, man, thank you so much for coming on. I know this is it's crunch time for you right now, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I'm we've had this connection for years now, and I'm actually glad that I get to be on your show. So I'm glad you got it up and going and consistent too, because it's we need this. We need this from real people, man. And you're
I
one of them.
appreciate that.
Yes,
It,
sir.
it's been good for me, man. Honestly, I think it's been kind of therapeutic
Yeah, tell me about it.
with everything going on in the world. I've always felt like part of my identity in this community has been relationships that I've been really fortunate to kind of have over the years in the community, meeting people like you and all the fighters and stuff like that. And that's always been it's just been a part of who I am. I feel like as a person, I don't know. I don't even really know any other way to explain it, you know? And then, that's been kind of missing obviously for the last year. And I couldn't really put my finger on, like, I'm like, man, I just don't feel like myself anymore. And then,
Yeah,
for whatever reason, I'd actually been planning on doing this for a long time, and we're still going to do it here at some point. The plan, I'm going to build a set. I wanted to do it like a actual like late night like talk show,
yeah.
you know, like have a set
Live? Can
and
you do
yeah,
live and all that?
yeah, eventually I have a buddy Amani who I tried to rope into it like a few weeks before I even kicked it off, because
Yeah,
he's a brilliant videographer, just
yeah,
really like like somebody that I could 100% hire, and he could run a live thing and it would look great, you know.
yeah,
So yeah, so we he's got like a real job, and I can't like suck him into doing this like crazy project with me right now, but I'm gonna get him at some point. You'll see when we do move to running it live and having a set and all that stuff, he's gonna be the guy for sure. I'll make sure that we do that. But then my goal was also like, especially for like the fighters, bring them out, have them do a seminar, that we can put some money in their pocket too, and kind of make it like a thing. I feel like there's always a way to, I would bring you out. I think you could 100% run like a workshop on just running a business, man, because you run a lot of stuff. So I think people would turn up and be super excited to hear what you have to say about
yeah.
branding and stuff like that too, you know.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that too, because I've been asked a lot. I get that asked quite a bit, but I don't
I bet.
address it.
Yeah.
Even before doing the shows and everything and all that, I used to, my background is corporate finance. I used to be in the stock market for like 20
Okay.
something years, right? And then when it came, before I got into the upper management, we'd have to go through, like, when you're in there, they send you off to almost like a what do you call it, a retreat,
Okay.
with other managers from other companies and all
Yeah.
that.
You have to
And so
fight them.
hey,
That'd be a cool show.
it would, yeah.
There we go. Next project. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. What they would do is, you know what I mean. They would teach you how to be a manager, and so
Huh.
what they did, anytime you have like a business meeting or something like that, you go around the room, you know what I mean, and introduce yourself and whatever. And when it comes time to an actual skit that you have to do, you know what I mean. I guess I stood out, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
as someone with conviction, someone with confidence or whatever, and someone with like ideas and how to motivate people, right? And
Yeah.
then, so anyway, long story short, before this bores the shit out of you, is that they're like, after it was all over, one of the organizer of the whole thing, or the person who was leading it, said, hey, you know what? He goes, man, every time you spoke, you had everyone like looking excited about what you do. So do you do this professionally? I'm like, well, like what? He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes like, do you do motivational speaking? I said, well, as part of the owning the gym is like you got to motivate your own guys,
Yeah,
you know,
for
and all
sure.
that stuff. So anyway, long story short, with that, he ended up giving me his card, and then he goes, yeah, I'd like to send you to this one workshop or this group that they'll pay you like 2-3 grand, 2 to 5 grand to do like an hour's worth of speaking. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
doesn't even usually be. It's not even that. Usually, it's just you get up, you say your piece, and then do a little Q&A, and then you get paid 2 to 3 grand, you know. And
that's
I did like 3 or 4 of those before, and then
yeah,
but as much as good as the money is, you know what I mean, that wasn't my passion. As you can see, just like yourself,
right.
I got a ton of projects: gym owner, promoter, family guy,
Yeah,
my you know my work and all that. I got too much shit on my plate, so you know, as much as but you know, just like you said, for if it falls within the group of the industry that I'm all passionate about, fuck yeah. I
yeah,
mean, Patrick, like Crew Pat, he's actually doing that with his platform, his
yes,
Facebook
he's
Live
doing a
stuff,
great
man.
job with it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, exactly. And he's actually given all these ideas and golden nuggets to all these other gym owners that haven't faced up with some of the stuff that people like you and I and him and you
yeah.
know have experienced. So it's good to give these people that one up before they encounter it, so they know how to get through it smoothly.
For sure. Yeah, and I think um when you have that, what you have, because you definitely have that, you have a very magnetic personality for sure. Like you're one of those guys that for sure, you're one of those guys that, when you meet, like you're like, what does he do? I just want to know. I want to talk to this guy a little bit more for sure. And I think, but I think that a lot of people don't realize, like, I know for me, like I'm like half that and half not that. So like I can turn that on, but like it's like a gas tank too. So like I understand where like I wouldn't the same way where if somebody be like, man, I'll give you $2,000 or $3,000 to come do this like on the weekends and stuff. I would be like, I got to save that for what I actually like, my business and doing
Exactly.
podcasts and stuff like, because you run out too. So and you need it for the important stuff. Sometimes the money's not worth giving that what you have of yourself for that out sometimes. So I that makes
But
sense too.
here's the thing though. I wouldn't charge for this one for you, bro. I
Yeah, I
think you
appreciate
gotta,
you,
you know,
man.
so there's a lot of things that a lot of people, and maybe hopefully we can touch into this because this plays a part in the reason why we are so connected to the fight community is because we do this out of passion, bro.
Yeah.
If we did it for the money, I would have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, fuck. Oh my god. Yeah, you and me
Yeah.
both, brother. I did our first smoker event since the shutdown yesterday. Um Initially was planning to do what I was going to do is I was going to have spectators, but I was going to do like 4 fight blocks like every hour and then leave like a 30-minute in between to like, all right, we'll clear everybody out, we'll kind of like disinfect and then like get the next group in. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I was like, it just seems like it's going to be a headache. So I switched at the end, and which I felt bad because I'm sure everybody's like, God damn it, Jason. Because I was like, here's how we're gonna do it. And then like a week out, I'm like, all right, forget all that. Just everybody just come at 1:30. I pushed the start time back a little bit. It worked out great.
Yeah.
We had one matchup where there was a little bit of miscommunication, and they came and I just put them at the end, so it was fine. It ended up being the best fight of the day anyway, so it kind of worked out.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't charge anything yesterday. I never charged the
Oh, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was like, I feel you, man, because I've been just like, I mean, when the weeks leading up, like people don't understand. They're like, man, I want to start a show. I'm like, no, you don't. You have no idea.
No, exactly.
It is a 24-hour a day job. Even like doing this because once you're in that matchmaking realm, there's constant questions. There's constant, can we change this to that? Can this happen? Like you're on call 24 hours a day. And if you're not, like you miss something, like it could derail everything. People have no idea. It's a very difficult hat to wear. So I applaud you. And I know the pain and the excitement though, too, because it actually yesterday, as hectic as it was leading up to it, just because of all the unsureties with like, what we can do, what we should do. Everything ran smooth. We had everybody wear masks, and we had the fighters take them off at the ring. We didn't do spectators, so we just had the, you know, like the participants in their corners, and I was kind of lax about, like, I was like, you know, you guys can have like 3 corners or whatever, so that they had like their little crew with them and stuff like that. And yeah, it went really smooth. Everybody had a good time, and another like sense of normalcy back from that, you know, because we used to, I in 2018 I ran one every month. I was
Oh shit. Yeah.
grinding, like basically a full like 15 to sometimes
Uh-huh.
20-person event
Yeah.
monthly. It was rough. And then I slowed down 2019. I think I still probably ran like 10. And then obviously 2020 was nothing. So
Yeah. Sorry, man. I don't mean to be moving around. I
now you're
thought
good.
I'm
Makes it
trying to put
exciting.
a, yeah.
Where are we
I'm trying
going
to
next?
I'm trying to put a better lighting for you.
Like, this is where the magic happens, right here.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a little bit of my kitchen, you know.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get a whole, it'll be like cribs too.
No, I got a small house, bro. California is fucking ridiculous. Yeah.
You're in the Bay Area, right?
Yes, sir.
What part are you in?
Just about maybe 20, 30 minutes east of San Francisco. But I
Okay,
work in
cool.
I grew up in San Francisco, and I since I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I worked downtown San Francisco for like 10, 15 years. So
Oh wow.
yeah, it's can't get away, man.
I really liked it out there. I came out for the first time in, I want to say maybe 2009, I think it was, or 2010. I came out, and then I
Carrie's
came
workshop
out. What's that?
for Carrie's workshop.
No, I would come out and train at Fairtex, San
Oh, San
Francisco.
Francisco. That's right. Alex Gong.
Yeah, and I actually trained with I was obsessed with Ganyao, and obviously Yongsunan. I was obsessed with them. I was, Ganyao was like the first like Thai that I like saw on TV on Ultimate Fighter, and I was like, I gotta train with him one day. So I made that. You would make the trip out there a couple of times and came out and sparred. Chris was out there still. I actually still talk to a bunch of people from those days.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was an awesome little community. It was sad to see that gym close, because it was, there was a lot of I had a lot of good memories. So I can only imagine what everyone else felt like about that. But yeah, that community kind of split up and went some to El Ninos, it seemed like, and I think Mountain View. Some people went to Mountain View, right?
Yeah, Mountain View. I don't even. Yeah, it's spread all over. But you know what I mean. Once you're in the game, you know where everyone's at. You know they're all spread out.
Yeah.
So COVID kind of is a blessing. Was a blessing for me in a
Yeah.
lot. It hurt, and there was a behind the scenes blessings that ended up happening in a lot of ways too. So as far as the gym, I mean, I kept it quiet. I didn't say anything. I just like everybody else did. There's a lot of people that were more vocal than I am, or I was, but I kept the gym open for like fucking 6 months, bro. I was paying rent, utilities, and fucking insurance and all that, and without being able and cancel all my memberships. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
wow.
6 months, and then I think the pushing point was when my landlord ended up trying to renew my lease.
Yeah.
And then he upped it like 20% and then asked for an additional $5,000 deposit.
Wow.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
He said, well, if you can't do it, then I need you out by the end of the month. I said, you can't even do that. I said, you know what? Don't be a fucking dick. You know what I mean? I'll stay here forever and still move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out on my own. So, I mean, it's illegal what you're trying to do. Because no, I can do this, but you can't evict me. So you don't think I know this shit? Right? You know what I mean? I was so mad. You know what I mean? And then, so anyway, long story short, with this, I ended up moving like two, 3 blocks down. And those are probably what the pictures you see. If you see me, if you subscribe to my gym page, we're in a small box. I went from a 4,000 square foot facility with nice everything, but to a 1,200 square foot shack. You know what I mean? Well, I don't want to call it shack.
It's whatever. Yeah, you're the spirits there.
It feels more cozy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it looks like the real fucking deal. You know what I mean? And but so anyway, what that did was it took me away from being a full-time business owner I mean, well, there's never anything different than that. But
Right.
as far as responsibility, even if you have a part-time business, you're still 24/7.
Yeah.
But it took me from as far as
It's not a
teaching
big a
wise,
nut to crack and everything.
yeah. So what ended up happening was, as a business owner, you never get to train.
Mm-mm.
I'm not young, but I'm not super old. I still like to do it because that's just what I love to do.
Yeah.
But it gave me more time to just focus on teaching again and training at the same time. Now I have to worry about the business because I ended up going back to work. You know what I mean? And then so it started to be fun again. You know what I mean? I start training my guys. I start sparring them all the time. I'm trying to work
Yeah.
out with them, and that was my very first hesitation from opening my gym full time, which is about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and it became fun again. So, like I said, it went. I had to make that switch. Not too many people have that opportunity or luxury to be able to say, this is not working for me. I'll do this instead. You know
Right.
what I mean? I had to, and it ended up working out. I actually ended up something I always kept behind the scenes, turned it into full time, and you probably see little hints of that stuff on some of my posts. You know, now I'm starting to merge those two worlds,
Yeah.
and then now I'm thinking in my head, fuck, it blew. It's so big that why didn't I do this like fucking 10, 10 15 years
Yeah.
ago? You know,
Yeah. It's
but
all
everything
everything
happens for
comes
a
in
reason.
time. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
So
think we had a similar situation. I mean, we were in 12,000 square feet, and then um
well,
yeah, dude, and it
what the
was a
fuck? That's like a
lot of
25
money too.
base.
Huh?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, that's crazy. I can't
Yeah,
even
it
imagine.
was big. And it was not even, I mean, we filled the space. It wasn't like we didn't fill the space. There was like there's probably like 4,000 feet, maybe 3,000 feet of like offices and shit. They were kind of like useless in a way, because this was a place we like took over this place. It was a athletic training center called Athletic Republic, and we were originally subleasing space from them, and what we were supposed to do was flip flop. We were going to take like the bigger portion of the rent, and they were going to sublease back from us. And they dicked us at the end and just rolled out, because I wouldn't have taken. I mean, we were like a brand new business. I had like 40 students,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have taken a 12,000 square foot space. So we just kind of had to make it work for all those years. And then we moved where I am now in 2019 in October,
Mhm.
and this space that I'm actually in now wasn't ready. So they had like permits and like all this crazy shit, and it took them 6 months to get us into this space. And we were supposed to be in here in like October. They moved us in here in April, like literally while it was shut down. They're like, all right, it's ready now. And I was like, fuck you, it's ready now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
because here we had supposed to have, how it is when you start off, you get a little bit of leeway, so like you can kind of build your money up and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, that's just gonna go to waste right now, because we're like we got lucky in the sense that we had a lot of a big chunk of our students stuck with us, and paid through the pandemic, and we were running the virtual stuff and just
Good
trying to
for
do
you.
whatever we could to like give them some value back. And then what we did was we gave them a free month, because there's about 3 weeks where we weren't doing the virtual classes, where I
Yeah.
was just trying to figure out what the hell to do with myself. um
You and me both.
yeah, right. And then I'm like, all right, well, let's start doing the virtual classes and get people on that so they have something going on. And so we gave everybody like a free month for that, and we've been really lucky. Excuse me, sorry. Since we've opened back up like fully in this space, we've been pretty lucky, and this newer location has been a lot better for us just all around. So yeah, I feel you there on it's been a little bit of a blessing for us too. I mean, I think we would have been in a way better position if COVID
Yeah.
never happened and we moved over here, because we would have I mean, we technically missed like 2 Januaries also, which is always like, all right, here comes January, we're going to get this big,
Yeah. Exactly.
whatever, man.
Yeah.
It's
The
just, it
fucking
is what it is.
resolution bump.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. People talk shit about it. I'm like, I love fucking January, man. We get everybody gets excited to start something new, and it's great for gym owners for sure because we like we want all those new people. We're excited about the people that are excited to start something new, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long have you had Pro Faction?
So it was founded in 2012,
Uh-huh.
and so my background, was I was karate. I'm a black belt in karate, so I'm like
Me too.
Shorin-ryu.
What type?
Shorin-ryu. It's
Okay,
like
I was
like Kodokan, just
Kyokushin.
a little bit. Yeah. See, so
That's awesome.
I'm a third degree there, and then I slowly got into full contact kickboxing. But when I moved to Benicia, which is the city where I'm at, I opened that gym about maybe in 2003. I started off just teaching adults for a little
Yeah.
bit, and then my kids got old enough, so I started to include them, and I started opening up classes for them as well. And then I think. Yeah, it was strictly just karate. I've already done kickboxing. You know what I mean? But I didn't. But as far as having a gym, that I can, have a following and have a structured curriculum. You know what I mean? Karate was the karate formula or model was is all I knew.
Yeah.
And then so anyway, as I got into, I sparred more other people. I got into my little man body, you know what I mean? Start fucking people up. They're like,
Yeah.
shit, you know what I mean? You should do this. You should do that, And I guess what ended up happening, I guess right after the UFC thing first came out, I think the big thing back then was, hey, you should do jujitsu, take jujitsu.
Yeah.
Or no one even knew what jujitsu was at the time, and then and just a very handful of people. And then so I was super on the late train, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? A couple of my buddies were already brown belts by the time I jumped into it.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like a pretty big karate tournament promoter back
Right.
then. So
Oh,
it
that's
actually
awesome.
that's where Bay Area Challenge came from. That's the
Okay.
reason
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
came
yeah.
to Muay Thai series is
It was
because
it was initially it was more like traditional martial arts based.
yeah. So
Oh,
it was
I
Bay
didn't
Area
know that.
Challenge. It was a karate thing, and up until 2007, which I ended up turning it into a full contact thing, which that's why it's called Bay Area Challenge Muay Thai series.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, with that, as far as um, coming into an actual fight gym that you can use today, I think after one of my biggest tournaments, a couple of my buddies and that were already in jiu-jitsu under Half Gracie and Caesar Gracie ended up saying, hey, how come you don't do jiu-jitsu in your tournaments? And
Right.
I go, I don't even know anything about it. How could I do something I don't know anything, or
Yeah.
offer it? And they're like, just, you know what, give us 2 rings on your next show, on your next tournament, and then we'll run it. And then I did. And next thing you know, just freaking, I mean, what happened is as a promoter, you're kind of president. You got to say hi and greet everyone and thank everyone for coming and making sure everything's there. So you usually don't have time to do shit, right?
Right.
Or to watch, and then so anyway, but I was glued. I was seeing shit that I was like, oh shit! I thought jujitsu was just holding on to people
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because you don't want to get fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then and I mean, this one team ended up smashing everybody. I think there was like over 100 competitors, or maybe close to 100. And then one team was just smoking everybody. And I went up to the guys like, hey, what gym you from? They're like, Caesar Gracie's, And I like,
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. I said, oh shit. And it happened to be like 20 minutes from my house. The very next day, during the following week, I showed up there, bro. You know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
full intention of signing up. No, I wasn't even gonna try to negotiate or anything. I was like, hey, you know what? And again, I didn't even know who Caesar Gracie was back then.
Right. Right.
And then so I ended up going to the front desk. It was about maybe 11, 12 o'clock, almost around noon. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm a fight promoter, and I actually had jujitsu, and a lot of people that competed were from this gym. Is there a Caesar here? And then he was like, yeah, that's me. And I said, oh, perfect. I said, well,
Yeah.
tell
That's
you
always
what, I'm
so
a black
exciting.
belt and so and
Yeah.
this and that. And what do you call it? And what I want to do is I thought it was all about this, but I realized after watching it that it wasn't. And I gotta get into this, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and he was like, really? I said, I'll tell you what, I will pay a year in advance just
Oh
so
shit.
I won't give myself the opportunity to quit in
Yeah.
case I didn't like it. And he was impressed, you know. And then
Damn.
so what ended up happening is because I'll tell you what, you sign up for a full year, only pay 6 months. I'll cover the other half.
Oh
You know,
damn.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, deal, you know, but I bought everything. I bought his
Yeah.
DVDs, big ass fucking $300 gi.
Yeah. Got all the
All
patches,
that stuff.
t-shirts. That's funny.
Yeah.
I just had Brian Butler. I don't know if you're familiar with Brian Butler. He's owns Sucker Punch Management. They manage
Yeah,
like
I think he reached out to me.
yeah, they run all the pretty much the entire atom weight division of the UFC, and they have a really awesome guy. But just randomly he did the same thing. He paid a year up front when he started, and that was what kind of trickled him into where he's at now too. So that's funny. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so now I'm after what? Fuck, bro. I think I'm on 13, 14 years of jiu-jitsu, and I'm a brown belt right now, but I haven't been able to train, you know, especially after this. So actually, the unfortunate thing about the pandemic is I had to not only close the gym, but I shut down my jiu-jitsu program. You know what I mean? Because I didn't like to hide stuff of what I do. I just rather not do it. You know what I mean? But it's easier to maintain a good social distancing with Muay Thai and kickboxing and boxing rather than jiu-jitsu, because it's a close contact sport.
Yeah, that's
So
tough,
it's like,
man.
if you had said something and like, oh, how do you know? You know what I mean? Or your skin touching skin, and you know that's the only way you can't train. So you know, I didn't want to just deal with that. You know what I mean? I had too many other things that are going on. So until it gets all back up and running, you know what I mean? I'll still train it, but I can't hold a class in it right now because it's the retention rate for something like that, with mixed feelings on getting infected or something like that. It's too complicated. So
it is, man. But this county that we're in, the numbers are really high, and they're paying attention to the businesses around here.
What city are you in?
I'm in PG County, with Lanham, which is, we're about 20 minutes outside of DC.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, PG County's like this little county that's bizarrely enough just fucking springs up like crazy. Like we have, you know, there's more NBA players coming out of PG County than like any other place in America almost. It's like crazy. Like,
they feed them something, or
there's actually a documentary I think it's on Showtime called "There's Something in the Water," and it's about PG County. But like fighters, same
I need to
thing.
visit that place.
Dude, come out sometime, man. And for jiu-jitsu wise, you know, like I said, you should go by, come out and go by Master Lloyd's. He's not that far from here. You know?
I'm too old to be getting my ass kicked.
They got some killers in there, man. That's why I'm still a white belt, but I was a white belt on that team for 2006 to 2013, so 7 years. So I feel like I'm like a super high level white belt.
Hey, that's the way it works. I think I was a white belt for like 4 or 5 years, bro. You know? And at Caesars, I mean, that's what they're known for. They don't give you your fucking white. See, back then, old school, they don't, you don't get your blue belt, you know, just based on, hey, how much time you put in. The only way you're getting that is if you're consistently tapping out blues and purple, maybe.
No, you know that's another like super real team. That's how they're he has his methodology or whatever, but for the most part, like, you advance from competition, you know?
Yeah.
And I was obviously always more of a Muay Thai and striker and stuff like that. So I didn't compete in jiu-jitsu. I did compete in jiu-jitsu a few times, but not often enough to warrant any type of belt thing. And I would never, I earned all my belts in traditional martial arts and stuff a certain way. So I would never be the type to be like, well, I've been doing it for 2 years, I should get my blue belt now. I always thought that was weird. Yeah.
Bro, the way I saw this was, fuck, because that was the topic that everyone like would whisper about. Like, fuck, I've been doing this forever. So I was like, you know what? I didn't give a fuck. I was already a white belt in another style. I was already doing full contact kickboxing. Yeah, I go, you know what? As long, if I'm just, I could be a white belt for my whole fucking time. I'll do this for 20 years. They're just gonna get your ass kicked by a fucking white belt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the technique is there. And if you're, if you're a Cesar Gracie white belt, like people are like, oh shit, okay, it doesn't matter. It's like you're Cesar Gracie, that comes first. So yeah, that makes sense. And I felt like I remember I went to UFC, I think it was like 57 or something like that in Vegas. It was Couture Liddell 3. And yeah, man, that was like the sickest show. So no. I did go to that one. Actually, so funny story. I did go to that one, and I met Dean Lister there. I got super. I'm telling you, like, it was like the fight gods were like, all right, here, man, get on this path, because I'd been wanting to train, and we got really good seats, and obviously because we're sitting next to Dean Lister, and I was telling him, I hadn't started training yet, and I really wanted to, and I was telling him where I was from, and he actually was like, you should check out Lloyd's. And I was like, oh yeah, that was actually on my list of places to go look at. And then randomly that night, Brandon Vera knocked out Justin Eilers really quick with this, and did this like cool thing, and invited everybody to it. Yeah, did the surfboard thing. And then he invited everyone, and he was like, I don't know how many of y'all can fit, but I'm getting married tomorrow, and you guys are all invited. And I was like, man, that guy's awesome. And Dean knew him because they were both from San Diego, and he's like, oh, dude, he does his part of his training camps in Maryland at Lloyd's. And I was like, all right, that's it. That's where I'm going then. But so then the next time I went out there was for Rampage and Dan Henderson. I think it was that fight. And anyways, I went to On the Mat to like buy some stuff. Do you remember On the Mat? The store?
You know what? I used to have an account with him, and then all of a sudden, my account guy was fucking up. So I
shit.
I'm doing Fuji.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like cool because we didn't really have any pro shops like that out here. So it was like exciting to go to a pro shop and see all the stuff. And so we took a cab over there, and Scott Bieri was there working, and I had a Lloyd Irvin shirt on. He was like, oh dude, you train at Lloyd's? And I was like, yeah. I felt all cool, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh man, okay. He's like, Ryan Hall. And I was like, yeah, I've been choked out by Ryan Hall a couple times. And then he actually gave us a ride back to the hotel and everything too. So it was like currency being from such a strong jiu-jitsu gym, even though I was more of a Muay Thai guy,
Yeah, bro, the community is fucking legit. I mean,
it is, man. It's awesome. I love that.
The thing is, I can be training over here, and then I'll be just like, hey, you know what? We're going on a vacation to Miami. Do you know? And then one of the guys would be like, oh, you know what? So and so trains out there. Hey, give him a call.
I love that. I do love that,
arms, bro. Yeah. Oh, so just to throw it out there, I started off with Cesar. I was with Cesar until about 2014 or something like that. We're still cool and everything. Yeah. But it's just because of the business way, for business purposes, and just certain situations. I'm under Caio Terra right now.
Oh yeah, I know Caio too. I've been to a seminar. He came out and did a seminar. So I taught at Crazy 88 in Elk Ridge, which is a Lloyd affiliate, and he came out and did a couple seminars there.
Yeah, I
that's awesome.
Want to put it out there and make it sound.
Yeah, of course. Gotta get your lineage right, man. That's important.
Yeah, Caio was started under Cesar when he brought him over, as one of his head instructors. So my very first jiu-jitsu instructor was Vinny Magalesh.
Oh wow, okay.
He used to be an instructor. This is when he was like a brown belt, super skinny.
You know
what I mean? And
he's jacked now.
I don't want to call him. Yeah, that guy's fucking big now. But now he's living in Vegas and everything. And then I think soon after that was over, Vinny had left. Caio had come on, and then Caio became like the head thing. And I think after that, I'd hate to rehash shit in case you post this part. But, right. That shit with Carlos Condit and, Nick Diaz kind of thing, he kind of got busted, and then he ended up doing his own thing. But hey, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. That community's small in that way too, where some things can quickly make it everything murky. So I get that too. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got lucky because I do videography work. I don't do much anymore,
Uh-huh.
but I did some behind the scenes stuff for Lloyd for years here and there, and actually I think I did. So I went out to Pan Am's. I can't remember if he had me come or not for
Oh,
that
in Long
one.
Beach.
Yeah, in Long Beach. Yep.
What year? What year?
At the Pyramid.
Yeah.
2010, I think was the first time I went out, and then we went back he brought me back for Worlds
Yeah.
in 2010. 2010 was like 2010 they like had a big blue belt team that like crushed it, like Sajara Eubanks, DJ
Yeah.
Jackson, Frank
Bro, we could
Camacho.
have met back then. I think I
Yeah, it's
was
crazy,
like,
right? That no, that world's super small. Yeah, we were there, and I made a little mini documentary called Metal Chasers,
okay.
and then that name stuck, and they've been that was kind of what they called their jujitsu fight team or whatever from then on. Pretty much was the Metal Chasers, and went back in 2011. I got really lucky, man. I got to travel around and see like
Yeah.
super high level jujitsu and meet all those big names and stuff like that. It was really cool.
You want to know something funny real quick? So I think it was either Worlds or Pan Am's, and then I ended up winning, right? And not winning the whole thing. I got silver, right? And then after you walk around with all your boys, I was kind of feeling tough and everything, super confident and everything. But all your boys hang out with you. So anyway, yeah, it had to be the Pyramid one because what ended up happening was it's super packed in there, and then those those big ass fucking stairs, right?
Yeah.
We're all walking, trying to see other people's matches going on. And then as I was walking down, somebody's coming up. Everyone was like, "Excuse me," bumping shoulder, so and so. And then one guy was coming up, and I was going down, and he had bumped me. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then he grabbed my shoulder and my chest and everything like that, and he winked at me. And then I go, and then one of the guys that was with me, "Man, look at that!" I go, "Who's this fool?" He winking at me and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
And like that, because I did the same thing. I did like, "Hey, sorry," but just the way he had, because you get that little feel of when someone grabs you and it just gives you a little extra squeeze, like, you're in my way, but I'll let you go.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So that was that kind of situation. And then he goes, "Don't you know who that is?" And I'm like, "Nah, who?" And he goes, "He doesn't look. You don't know who that is?" And then he goes, "That's Marcelo Garcia."
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy about? Because you bump into somebody bumped into Marcelo on the street and didn't know. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might make
And
a
then
mistake.
it was even funny. So the next time that ended up happening again because he ended up coming back down and I went back up. And then we ended up bumping each other again. And
No.
but that time I was kind of cool. I knew who he was finally. And then
He's like, third time I'm throwing this motherfucker.
No, he was super nice, bro.
Yeah.
He's like,
I've had a chance to meet him too. He is super nice.
Yeah, he was like, "No, it's okay, it's okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great personalities in that. Actually, what's funny is Nate. So Nate, Nate, I feel like Nate Diaz, everyone like expects him to be all the time, and maybe he is most of the time. But we met him there in 2011. 2011, Master Lloyd had a kid, Jimmy Harbison, who grand slammed that year, the brown belt. So he won in Portugal. He won golds. He won gold at the Mundials. He won gold at Pan Am's, and he won gold at Worlds in California. So he won all four in brown belt that year. And one of his matches was against Nate, who he beat. And then afterwards, we're all sitting in the stands, like right next to him, and they were just chopping it up. And he was just cool as can be, man. Just really, really nice guy. Yeah, Nate. Yeah, super nice. Yeah. So
yeah, super nice, super respectful. I think there was one. There was one year. It might have been like 2007 or 2008, something like that. He did. It was at the Gracie Invitational, and again, I didn't know the full team yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I kind of did, just my teammates, not the big names. Right? Nate was already big in WEC and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think he did a super fight with Adam Piccolotti.
Mm.
who fights for Bellator now.
Yeah.
So they did that, and I think one, everyone's looking to fight and everything, or looking to get a good position. And so anyway, I just remember throughout that day, I had bumped into Nick, right? And Nick is, and you know what he did? I mean, again, you would think just because everyone knew who he was, he had, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. And then he let me through.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're portrayed on media to be
Yeah,
like
for
assholes,
sure.
but they're super cool guys.
They're definitely martial artists at their core, though. You can tell.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
That I feel like that takes precedence. They just don't take no bullshit.
Yeah, bro.
I can't hate on them for that.
No,
So you went from, I know you, so you did the Bay Area Challenge, and then you had MMA on there, correct?
So no, actually, I mean that's why it's I'm glad you're bringing this all up, because this probably goes into the big scheme of everything.
Yeah.
So I started off with when I got into the full contact kind of thing, and I started to promote full contact. Some other, and I was a matchmaker for CSAC, a professional matchmaker.
Okay.
Whatever. So people would hire me, and then all of a sudden to put fights together.
Yeah.
Right. I'll be the behind the scenes guy. And then I think 3 years in, a group had hit me up and said, hey, you know what? We'd like to bring you on to our team, and what do you call it? And we'd like to start a new company. And it's like, it was like a total of four of us, maybe five. Yeah. And it was called Elite Combat Sports. You ever hear of that? ECS?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome. So, okay. Damn, that's badass.
MMA and Muay Thai, you know what I mean? So we did. Actually, Gaston had fought on there too.
And
I got the super old pic where he had fought someone from Diamond Muay Thai, right? And then knocked him out and everything. And I think this is the first time I met all these guys at the same time. I had Gaston. I think Zach was on there. Willie, Willie Whipple, and Kevin Ross was all in that picture. So if I could find it somewhere, bro. I mean, that was a long ass time ago. That was like 2010, 12. I don't know.
Jeez, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was good. But so it was Elite Combat Sports, and like again, when people like you and I are probably in this because we love to do it. You know what I mean? So there's really no yes, eventually it'll pay itself. It'll work itself out.
Right.
But I think there are other people that get into it when you have too many fucking hands in the pot. People start doing some shady shit. You know what I mean? And it was too bad because we were the big thing. You know what I mean?
100%.
We're doing some really big things, but people were making side deals, and you know what I mean. And it turned us into like a bankrupt. We got our license kind of suspended because we loaned it out to somebody. You know what I mean?
Shoot.
And then so it's like, you know what? We ended up throwing a show on the same day as somebody else, and it just we fucking were in the hole like 30 grand, right? And then we're like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. You should have been doing what you were doing,
right?
And I backed off. I didn't want I didn't want the ring. I didn't want the cage. I didn't want nothing. I just went out. You know what I mean? And so we split. We went our own separate ways. About a year later, I did my own thing. I got my pro promoter's license for California on my own, and the rest just took off.
Yeah, man. I don't know what exactly the landscape is out there, but here, so I have a show. I run a couple of shows out here also called Rise.
Yes, I follow that
partner Emilio, who had already been doing his own. He'd already been doing his own thing, and he did a show that we had a couple guys fight on. My kid Gary Mack and another kid Darnell Mickey. They both did 4-man tournaments, where it was like a one night 4-man tournament for like an amateur WBC title, and they both won those fights. So those super epic night, one of my favorite nights as a coach, honestly. But afterwards, I was like, man, we should link up, because I was like, I think I can help you make some matchmaking. Is definitely where my talents lie as far as the shows are concerned as well too. I feel like if you're good at it, it's because you have your pulse on what's going on, and you kind of are watching like, man, this guy and this guy would be epic. And then, well,
Exactly.
so we kind of linked up for that reason. And then also, and the thing is that that's one of the things I love so much about your show. And you can tell that you don't do it for the money, because it's not the way to make money. Is you actually put on good fights, as opposed to just, all right, well, this guy's going to sell tickets, so let's keep him winning. And
Right.
that, it's tough because that's like kind of how you stay in business,
Yeah.
in a sense. Like, if you want to keep it going and but at the same time, like, for the people that are in the know, it's like, that fight's bullshit. Like, that fight's bullshit.
Right.
Like, people know. So
Yeah,
it's
and I
really,
don't
it
want to
makes
be
it
known
really
for that.
difficult. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
don't want to
same
be
way.
known.
We haven't
Yeah,
made a dime for Rise.
yeah,
I haven't made nothing. I think I
yeah.
probably owe somebody some money, probably.
You know what? But that's about to change because we've been in it long enough, and
Yeah.
we've opened some eyes. Fuck, you got Glory folks,
Hmm.
people taking our or not recruiting or getting our guys. We got one championship taking,
Yeah.
pulling some of our folks. So eyes are on us, and plus they I've been reached out to. Now I kind of work with. I got my own certain people that I kind of deal with,
Yeah.
in each respective organization. So it's kind of just because I can't do it at the money level that they do. What I mean, I know I put on just as good, if not better, fights than they
For
do.
sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I know that there's there's interest. I just got to figure out the formula, which I'm just kind of leading up to what I'm about to say. We're basically there. We're
Yeah.
almost there because we now. I think what happened was I went from a local show to a bigger show to when it started to to blow up. I saw the bigger picture of
Yeah.
this, you know what I mean? And then that's when, like, oh, okay, the person who really opened my eyes up to this, and not to name drop or anything, but it was when I had that meeting with Dana White. You know what I mean? My show started to be on
For
Fight
Fight
Pass.
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, bro, he says, because you know what, you're fucking legit. You know what I mean? You're passionate about this. You're good at this. So I mean, there's no denying you're fucking good for this industry.
Yeah.
He goes, but I'll tell you what. He goes, if you're gonna survive in this industry, you're gonna turn from a promoter to an executive producer.
Hmm.
That's how you're gonna survive, and that's how you're gonna make money in this thing. And
Yeah.
then and so it goes, and then from there, even though he didn't tell me the magic formula, how to make it all happen and how to get these sponsors, how to do a
Right.
deal with this, whatever, I slowly had to learn that from the people in that environment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I would say it's trial and error. You know what I mean? And sometimes I paid the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a good year to where I had to slow down and take a break because I put my family at risk. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can't, I mean, passion versus family, same
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean, it's you gotta draw the line somewhere.
For sure. For sure.
And so, I kind of did a hard reset, and it's, because I put the pieces back together, and now the
Yeah.
formula is getting a lot more clear. So on doing that, we picked up a lot of attention and a lot of people interested. We're actually working with a couple of investment groups that are super interested in taking this to a bigger level. And
That's
that's
awesome.
why we started and I'm doing it more smart now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're not exactly there yet because stuff like this takes time.
Hmm.
But we're aligning everything up. We're working on it, and we're actually in the process. So I would say give us another year, maybe two. You know what I mean? I like to give myself an honest shot
Right.
of achieving what I say. Brendan, our commentator, he
Yeah.
likes to always put it out there like, fuck, Jeff does everything he says he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fuck that up right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I always said within 3 to 5 years, Triumphant will be the fucking top combat sports show out there.
Yeah.
And we're going on 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but yeah, it's slowly getting there. Look at one FC or one championship was around for what, 5 or 7 years before it got anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one even knew who they were.
Right.
And then the last 2 to 3 years is where they started to break out.
Yeah.
And
I think, and the crazy thing was I feel like a big part of that was recruiting a couple of American fighters. Not that they needed American fighters, because they were obviously already big over there, but you can't be big here if people aren't paying attention, and people started
Yeah.
paying attention a little bit more, I think when they started trying to crack into this market a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what I gotta do. I gotta do the opposite.
Yeah,
So
you got to
that
get the, yeah, for sure. For
so
sure.
that's what I'm doing. So in the last 2 to 3 years, that's why I was in London. That's
Mhm.
why I was in Thailand, and that, you know what I mean. So slowly getting my footprint out there and everything, and working with certain people that can make it happen. So
Yeah.
it's coming. It's coming,
That's
but it's
dope, man. I'm excited. I knew right away you were doing things the right way. I feel like I feel like you're doing things the same way that I wanted to do things too, which is, yeah, no, I appreciate you, because I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I can just chill then.
yeah. No, it's just people like us working together, though. You know what I
Yeah, for
mean?
sure. And well, that was, initially my, like, when I really, I sat down and I wrote it all out years and years and years ago, because I felt like there's a chunk missing, unfortunately, for America, which is, for us, we have to go, for the most part, from what our level of pro is to a level of pro that we're not really ready for most of the time, because and I feel like the guys especially have it really, really tough. Not that the women don't either. I mean, the women there's a big jump for them too, but
Yeah,
some of the guys are like going from, okay, like, yeah, you're 10-1, and now you're fighting a guy who's like 90-3, uh,
exactly.
and the formula is like always the same. It's, and I try, and that's why I try to even explain to people, ask me about, like, I want to go pro, and I'm like, okay, well, here's the easiest way to do the math, right? And the math that people are doing wrong, which is screwing up their careers. I'm like, when these guys think about going pro, they're looking at a guy on, like, your card, or like a lion fight, or like a show that they think they might be able to get onto, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I can beat that guy. Okay, cool. Can you beat the guy that's the champion in that weight class, in one, or glory, or something? That's the question you have to, like, where are you at in relation to them? And not that you have to be able to do that right at the pro level, but what people don't understand is, whereas we are lacking a little bit sometimes in opportunities to get to that, it can happen quickly, because you're gonna, if you're I use, the funny thing is that the example that I used, actually, I felt like, was Troy Jones to a T, almost, because I was
Yeah.
like, man, if you're really good, there's probably like 10 people that they can match you with that are like North American. And
Yeah.
once you X them out, I was like, the next thing you know is that, like, this is the American star, and they want that. It's the fight community wants it. But
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, cool. Here's I literally have always said, I'm like, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you the title fight on short notice, when
Yeah.
you don't really have a chance to prepare for it, and then now
Right.
you're making the biggest jump of your life into, like, the toughest possible fight. And it's exactly what happened to Troy. It was like, okay, here's Myrtle Groenhart in 2 weeks notice. And right away I'm like, God damn it, because I'm like, I've been so excited about Troy all this time, because I'm like, he could be the one, that, like,
Watch
just
out,
keeps.
man. You're
Yeah.
gonna see something. You're gonna
Oh
see something.
shit. All
I
right,
thought you were
cool.
leading up to that too.
All
You
right,
know, but
good.
yeah,
But,
you
and
got
I
something going
think,
on for
and
sure.
the cool, that's one thing I do really enjoy, because I've, have come up in all the different sports, obviously, as well too. And I do deal a lot with boxing. Boxing is unforgiving. Like, once that loss happens, might as well
Yeah.
just hang it up sometimes.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
the cool thing about kickboxing and Muay Thai is, whatever, you'll fight them again. You know what I mean? That's one of the things I also love about it. And I know Troy he's coming back hard when he comes back with whatever he does next. And other guys in the sport like him. There's some exciting up and comers right now that I know and then, some other guys like Eddie and Richard, who have been doing it for a while now, which is exciting to see them two fighting. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's another. So this is like a long roundabout way of getting back to what I really wanted to say, which is
Yeah.
just that we need a show that's like you know, people are like, oh, the American guys shouldn't be fighting each other. I'm like, man, we kind of got to also figure out though, like who's our real representative too, in a way. Like we need to
True.
kind of figure that out. Like, and then we actually need to, for a change, everybody's got to get behind that guy too, you know, like we
Yeah.
can't be salty about who they beat on their way there. We got to be like, all right, well, that's our guy. Let's
Yeah.
throw the
Yeah.
flag over him and charge into battle. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that because that goes into everything what I'm trying to talk about. Like there's a lot of people out there, like right now, there's like Muay Thai isn't in the as popular as it is to us. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's not out there at that level to where it can solely stand on its own. You know what I
Right.
mean? We need everybody behind it, and that's what pisses me off about all these people trying to like, oh, this is the way we started this. Oh no, this is the way this rule set should
Oh
be.
yeah.
No, you should
Hate
be
that.
following ours. And then fucking, I'm telling you right now, as a promoter, I get caught up in it and I can't pick a side. So
Yeah.
what I try to do, and say, for example, what I wanted to start off on a certain level, on a certain piece of it. Like say, for example, if you didn't already notice, you remember Bam, Bam Stell or
Yeah.
Dan Stell,
Yep.
and then Josh Ferraro, right?
Uh-huh.
Two different associations, and
Yes.
they came together. It was nervous for me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I remember. I think you might have even been there. I think we even talked about stuff like that in that little downstairs
Yeah.
conference room
Yeah.
and stuff like just basically the politics of
Hmm.
all of this. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck, we're never going to be able to get this. We're never going to be on the same page because everybody's got a fucking ego.
That's
You
the
know what I mean?
hardest obstacle that nobody even knows exists. Like from the
Yeah.
outside world, they don't
Yeah.
understand like how hard it is to navigate all that. But yeah, go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, but so and I'm trying to, and that's something I pride myself in, is because there's so many people that try to tell me what to do,
Mhm.
but who are you to say to be the one that's telling me I'm doing the wrong thing? Who are
Right.
you to
Right.
say that with whatever? So let me do what I feel is right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which I like to think that I come from the fighter, the competitor, the coach, or the person who's actually in it,
Yeah.
knowing we really want, rather than someone who's never experienced any of that stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just thinking that they know what the problem is. So this is another goes to my point I commented on Taylor McClatchy's post the other day, or was it yesterday, where she had uh, a post about the ranking system in what do you call it,
Canada.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I followed up on it. I said, I go, this is definitely what we need in order for the sport to grow. We need a fucking ranking system.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then Kieran or Kettle
Yeah.
ended up pointing like, thanks, man, thanks. So what I think is we need to get, even though we're like on opposing shows, yes, we want ours to be the biggest and the best. We got to get to a point to where we can all work together and
Mhm.
pump up the same people. Like right now, Lion Fight. I mean, sorry, I hate to talk shit about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm I was a big fan of what their original
Yeah.
platform was. You know what I mean? And all that. And the thing is, there's so much behind the scenes trash talk, and you know what I mean, whatever, that to where it's just like, hey, you know what? I don't know. It just brings, now it starts to turn people against each other.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if we can get on the same page of the same goal of trying to boost Muay Thai and not me be better than you, you know what I mean? Maybe we
Right.
can unify something. We'll let that be whether that be a ranking system. You know what I mean? I had a conversation with somebody just recently, and I'm actually in the works of doing this. I want to try to unify. I
Yeah.
want to try to unify. Look, there's WBC, there's WMC,
Yeah.
and
WMC,
yeah,
IKF, or the IKF,
yeah, yeah,
WKA,
yeah.
ISKA. Yeah. It goes on.
How fucking crazy would that be if we were able to have a ranking system and basically get someone, and have, like, that's what remember when Tyson used to fight, bro?
Mhm.
Fucking strapped up, IBF,
Unified. Yeah.
WBC, WBO, you know what I mean? All that stuff.
For sure.
That's what I would like to do. And you know what I didn't know? I didn't know that there was an IBF Muay Thai.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a
There is.
fucking Muay Thai for everything, man. There's some
Yeah.
people get their hands wherever they can get some money, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah.
it just
I think
kind of
that's what you
dilutes
got.
everything a little bit more too, unfortunately,
It
sometimes.
does, but
But yeah, only because like you said, a lot of them don't want to work together. Which
yeah.
I totally get because I feel like I've been kind of in that same boat where
Uh-huh.
we do obviously for me like okay so like Aaron, I feel like I always use Aaron as an example because she's done all of it. So uh we she did WK Nationals, she went to the Worlds tournament there, she did the IKF Worlds in Florida.
Yeah.
She's fought at Waco. She's done the only one that we haven't made it to yet, which sucks, and we're probably gonna try to go this year if she's allowed to travel. Um, is TBA's, but obviously she's medaled at IFMA in
Mhm.
2017. She got the silver. Went to Waco, and she didn't medal there, and I feel I totally take the blame for it because I had the scoring kind of screwed up in my head, and I feel like I gave her a bad game plan, but she's done all of it, and no matter what, like her first year she went to IFMA, she did well. She won her first couple fights and got to the gold medal round, and came up short there. But I'm like, I 100% feel like the reason that she was prepared was because she had done international competition at WKA and she had traveled to all these other ones. And I'm like, as much as a lot of times I feel like they don't really want to work together, I'm like, the athletes need to be doing all those tournaments to be prepared for IFMA or the WACO World Championship. There's not one national tournament that's going to get somebody prepared to go fight these European and Southeast Asian teams. And on the same token, it's just like what you and I deal with a lot of times, I feel like, where the landscape here for shows in this area on the East Coast, most of the time when I like put a date out for Rise, 4 other shows popped up with like either the same date or like a week later. And these are people that I'm in touch with, like that I talk to, because obviously I have a fight team too. So I put my people on there. And there's a couple of them that I even reached out and was like, hey, like, this is the date I'm thinking of. I just want to let you guys know, like, does it conflict with you? Because to me, I'm like, I don't want to compete with you guys. I just want a show that can keep people busy. And I can't put everybody on my fight team on my show. I still need other shows to compete on too. But it's
Yeah.
like everybody. So I'm like, okay, here's my thing. If you're, are you able to, is anybody able to run a show enough times a year to put every single gym and every single fighter on all year long?
You're asking me that question?
Yeah. I mean, do you think you could do that? Could you run enough triumphant combat shows a year to put
Yeah.
every single gym and every single fighter in America on all year long?
Not even the UFC is doing that, bro.
Right. That's what
But
I'm saying.
yeah,
You have to run a show. You have to run like 3 shows a day.
yeah. Well,
So
so this.
the thing I don't mean to cut you off. The thing I don't
Oh,
get is why, like, I don't, what drives me crazy is like, why not everybody try to work together a little bit more if they can be so, cause guess
yeah,
what, guys, you can't run enough shows to keep everybody busy. No matter what, at the end of the day, there's going to have to be more than one show. And that's another of the million things that I love about you. I see you trying your best to like, work. You literally were in Mexico, like, with the USMF, trying to get your thumb on the pulse, trying to figure out like how to incorporate what's going on with that movement and stuff like that. Like, like we need more people in the sport trying to do what you're trying to do, because that's the only way that we're ever going to get past where we're stuck a little bit right now, for sure.
right. And then and my thinking there is, or my mentality going in there is, I made a post this recently, like describing IFMA, right?
Mhm.
Is the Olympics of Muay Thai. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so you talk about Olympics, yes, you think country versus, yeah. Once we can get behind our fighters, you know what I mean, representing our country,
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to end up uniting us, you know, and getting behind all the fighters. And but yeah, man, I mean, you're right. You know, there's I mean, my small way of trying to live up to what you were just mentioning is we still have Bay Area Challenge in the background, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so we're still, you know, there's and again, for the way I work, I like to build my team within, you know what I mean? And usually my team starts off with what do they call it? With personal relationships.
Yeah.
You know, and because I've already been hit up by I'm telling you right now, every fight promotion you've seen out there, you know, right now, or a big one right now, they've all hit me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was like, hey, you know, it would be good for you if we can do this and this. I just, you know what I mean? They want to add what they think and bring it on to mine. But I've been a couple times, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, but at the end of the day, and you'll hear this over and you'll see it over and over and over again. If you can't gel with my team, or my team doesn't have the vibe that you're in it for us as a group, as a team, then I can't have you on.
No,
you know
for sure. Yeah, you got to keep your like little petri dish that's working for you uncontaminated for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been the victim of too many times where I'm too much of a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then until I don't have to be. The moment, I mean, and some of the fighters and will tell you this too. I could be an asshole.
That switch flips. Yeah.
Yeah. When they start thinking it's all about them and that they deserve this and that, and I did them wrong or something like that, motherfuckers, go ahead and say what you need to say. You know what I mean? Because I will fucking put you in your place. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you don't know, you know, if you're so fucking good at this and I should have did this and that, then how come you don't fucking do it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why aren't you running the show? No, it's frustrating, man. It's tough. People don't realize. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, what do you call it? You can't satisfy 100% of the people. And I will take the blame for everything that I do wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to just make it better. So there's nothing, you know, I hate accusing someone or badgering somebody with, or just like calling somebody out, and not let them make the opportunity to how do you say, to regain, you know what I mean? Or come back, because everybody needs another chance to make it better, especially if that's their goal, is to keep pushing the sport up, you know, forward.
Yeah, I know for me too, like my partner in Rise, like he was like, man, we should do some pro fights, start doing more pro fights. And that he had that, you know, a couple of the ones that we were going to, and stuff fell through. I don't give it. Honestly, I feel like at this point for me, so what I really like to do, I love the smokers. That's my favorite thing. I have more fun doing that than anything else, man. Cause those people are like right in the cusp of like just really loving it. And it's just, they're fucking awesome, man. I honestly have more fun doing those than almost anything else that I do. And then, the shows that we've done with Rise have been really cool. And I actually like dealing with the amateur scene, because I think for me, I've never like, I never had any intention on trying to be like a really big event that would like compete with any of the big shows that are out there. I just wanted to help with that funnel process of like, okay, like, or like I could be like, hey Jeff, this guy, when he goes pro, like definitely talk to him. He's gonna be,
like a jumper.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted, that's always kind of what I wanted us to be, is a little bit more of like a feeder, and then also to help prepare some people and because like the tournaments that we've done, the 4-man tournaments we've done, I've always had like, it's been like a IKF champ, a WKA champ, a USMTO champ, and like a TBA champ. I try to like get people that are already title holders or won tournaments and the other things. So I'm like, all right, let's see who's the realest one out of them. And then that's somebody like, okay, I can be like, hey Jeff, you know, put this guy's name in your hat, because if you need somebody when he goes pro, or this girl or whatever it is, like these are people that we should be, like you said, getting behind, like as a country. Like these are people we should start like trying to
Trying to back up.
lift up and be like, okay, when they go to your show and stuff like that, like we're all excited. Or if some eventually, you know, you start like bringing people from other countries and stuff, and this is our person, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I want to be. And I feel like I feel like you're already doing a great job with that. You're getting people that are strong in their region, and like, and then having them fight. Like let's do that. You know what I mean? But it's more difficult, I know, than it's easier said than done for a lot of promoters, because obviously they, you know, they live and die off of ticket sales, and sometimes you kind of get your feet are you're stuck because you got to do what you got to do to get ticket sales done, and sometimes the ticket sellers aren't always the best fighters either. You know, it doesn't always work out that way.
And then, then you're just known for a tough man contest. You know?
Right. Have you met Chris Tran yet from Warriors Cup?
You know what? I haven't met him, but I hear so many good things about him.
Man, he's awesome. You guys would love each other. Yeah, we should get you guys together at some point too, because I think you guys would work really well together. I mean, if you look at his track record he's like the East Coast you, like all the or vice versa, whatever you want to say. You know, he's been, you know, like Topic and like Brett and Justin Grekowitz, like all of the East Coast people have come up through Warriors Cup too, you know, amateur to pro, from pro to glory, and all the other stuff. So I think, and that's the thing, is I feel like you and him are guys that are at the top of the game that are also like willing to even say that, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk even, you know? So that's he's, like I said, one of my favorite people in the sport, and that I'm glad that we have both of you guys in the game, because we need it, man. We need it. It's the only way we're ever going to get past where we're at right now.
And just to throw something out at you, we talk about, you know, East Coast, West Coast, you know, in 2021, or actually a little bit of last year, we are making some big leaps. So just in case we weren't going to get to it yet, we're going to be in the East Coast this
year.
And sooner rather than later. There's some big announcement. It might even be before the show. I might as well say it right now, because
let's do it.
It's already been hinted, you know, by one of my guys. So we will be in Miami, guys. Hey, and May 15th. That's the day. So
that's
book
dope.
your fucking flights. So I mean, one thing that I really want to give credit to is Muay Thai Addict. You know what I mean? They really get behind the sport and the people and try to really make it happen. So we're doing like a collabo. I mean, I see that in the background. Yeah, you know.
That's there's my guys right there. Yep, they're on my ring. They're everywhere, man. I represent Muay Thai Addict.
Yes,
I love those guys.
Yeah, so we're doing a collabo a show, and there's some big fucking names in the I mean, I thought my shit was over here in Mexico was an international kind of thing. Wait till you see the fucking lineup on this. Where contracts are already going out, you know what I mean? And you know some of them, and you know, and speaking of, you know, you did mention, that's why I thought you knew, you know what I mean? But I think
I knew you told me about Miami. Yeah. Oh, you talking about Troy? I had a feeling something was going on with that, but I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, we're
working on something.
Yeah, we are, but I like Troy. I mean, shit, you saw that thing that sparked up a couple of years ago between him and Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I think he jumped on one of my posts, and then he goes, you know what? I'd like to take that, you know, that guy
WBC title or something. Yeah. They had a thing that I remember. I'm on it too, baby. Yeah.
And he hit me up on the side, and he's like, man, how do you make that happen? I know I can whoop this guy.
Yeah.
And you know, so I was like, "Whoa, shit! That's a kind of a big statement." And you know, and I'm kind of close to Charles too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's been with me since Bay Area Challenge.
Yeah.
You know, and then you know, so I kind of made mentioned it to him back then, and I guess he is also, you know, he wants to make that happen too. But I guess timing is everything. You know,
of course.
And, you know, and then it just wasn't time back then, and then
right.
And I'm trying to make it happen actually right now.
Fuck, that's awesome. Oh yeah, trust me. I think if you have a personality like we do, and you're like, meaning how much we love the game of this.
Oh yeah.
And you're and you are in that realm of like, I might be able to make that fight happen, you don't miss a single post. I'm the same way, man. I had, as soon as you said, I was like, oh yeah, they were talking about WBC title. I remember that exact post. That shit goes into a specific file place up here in the brain, and you're like, any opportunity, because I've a lot of people don't know, behind the scenes, I've been matchmaking for shows behind the scenes for way longer than even just in the sense of like, shows will call me, some big shows have called me and been like, hey man, this thing just fell through, I heard, even if they didn't even know me well, somebody told me to reach out to you, you might know somebody. And a lot of times it wouldn't even be one of my people. It literally just, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who you should hit, you should talk to this guy. It was just one of those things where I have, luckily, just from being around for a while, I've made some connections around the community and have been able to assist.
I still reach out to people like yourself and people from all
that's
over
because
the
you're a
country.
fan too, brother. That's what happens,
Big
man.
time.
Yeah.
Well, you
for
know
sure.
what happens is, what with the downside to that is, because I'm a fan, there's certain people that I, like you end up building relationships with, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, like say for example, the one I just posted it yesterday. We got Danny Pinto versus Chris Paez, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are super nice guys. Both
Right.
of them are, you know what I mean? I want them to do so well. They're like, they could be superstars in the sport just because of their style, their demeanor, the way they carry themselves, the way their social media, you know what I mean? These guys, I like them both a lot. I would hate, I would hate to see one of them lose.
I know, man.
But so you say, why do you put it together? Because
you got
I'm
to.
a fucking fan, bro.
It's gonna be an awesome fight. Yeah. There's one on there, Brandon and Luis on the show where, so I don't, Luis is, that's my guy. Like, that's my boy. Like I've cornered him at IFMA Worlds, and cornered him in at the Pan Ams in Mexico City for some big fights. I was in his corner when he fought Ian Escusa. Like that's my boy. You know what I mean? We've been tight. Actually cornered him. There's a show in Canada called ECL where they had a WK North American title. They brought up Aaron, my guy Gary. They brought up Luis, and my brain's like not working today. Omar. They brought up Omar from Jacksonville. And so it was like America versus Canada, and Aaron and Gary. I cornered Luis, Aaron, and Gary. Obviously, Aaron and Gary got their belts. Luis had a super close fight. A lot of people thought he won that fight against Kyle. I forget what Kyle's last name is, but he's been tearing shit up too. He was big though. He's big as shit. I was like, good Lord. So yeah, Luis is that's my dog. It's hard not to root for him, but I don't really know Brandon very well, but the boxing club, like I'm such a huge fan of everything they're doing with their gyms, and we've gone out there to train, and so that's like another one where it's like it's kind of weird, but it's a fight that you're super excited to see as a fan for sure.
Oh yeah, there's already people from the lineup. I'm getting people that I have relationships already with, even though I don't like to look past like a result, you know what I mean? But someone's like, I want the winner of that, you know what I mean? And so and they're already matchmaking for me, but and that's why it's so needed for like a ranking system. And I think the people are actually the ones creating the ranking system, because the top level guys are the ones hitting me up.
Well, it's funny what you said that Dana told you, because I always viewed it a similar way too. So I'm a writer as well. Like I've been writing. I'm nothing really, haven't really done much with it yet, but I've been working on a couple projects really big since the shutdown happened. Actually working on a show based off of the gym, and then like a graphic novel and stuff like that too. But I have that when I'm matchmaking, I've always view it from like a storyline, like like okay, and then if this guy wins, like I'm looking at these people. So yeah, you kind of have to do it that way, because you want to build. People don't realize that that's an important part of it too, because you got to build that thing that gets people to come back the next time too and want to see the next fight, you know. So that's
Yeah, and
awesome
that's
that
the
people are
buildup,
already
right?
looking
Yeah,
at it. Yeah,
yeah, that's the
super.
buildup already. That Brandon and Luis, man, because I had like 2 or 3 different people in mind, and Brandon actually wasn't supposed to make his debut because he was supposed to do one more fight
Yeah,
uh, before that. But you know what I mean? It's this pandemic. You know,
it's
thankful
tricky
for the
now,
pandemic.
right? And you know
Yeah,
what's cool too is there's starting to be more opportunities also
yeah,
to go pro and still do some tournaments and stuff. And I think as long as that's the case, then it makes more sense because we get more closer to that European model where it's more A, B or A class and B class, and not like you can do a pro fight and get a paycheck, and then a couple weeks later put some gear on and do a tournament to get ring time that you need as a North American fighter that still is going to you know, get value out of competing as much as possible. You know what else is funny? And we kind of dropped it because of the pandemic, and I gotta hit my buddy up that I was working on it with and kind of circle back to because we fucking did so much work for it. I started that knockaround project where
yeah.
we're gonna do and it's the foundation for it is all laid out, and the website there's like a few more tweaks we got to talk to, and then I just gotta launch. It was one of those things where I'm like a very like with certain things I get super excited about it right away, and then like if it's taking too long to do I just mentally move on to another project. But I want to circle back to that because the main idea with that was to have create that database of fighters from Muay Thai and kickboxing here in the US, and we are going to do just our own personal rankings just to have them
Yeah,
to kind of achieve a little bit of what you're talking about, which is we're not bound by like any of
sanctioning
um,
body.
the
Yeah,
letters, you know, not WK, not WBC or whatever, just who we think, which
yeah,
honestly to a lot of people could mean jack shit. But at least there's like something to be like,
yeah,
well, on knock around, they're ranked number 2. So
yeah.
Jason kind of
You know
knows a
what you
little bit
should do?
about Muay Thai.
Yeah, you should get with Nathan Aripez.
Yeah, from Muay Thai Authority.
Yeah, I mean, because you guys, because I think they started something like that before, and then
That's awesome.
I mean, if you
Kind of fizzled
guys,
out. Yeah.
yeah, but he's still in it, but behind the
No.
scenes, we don't
Yeah.
really see anything happening too much with him right now. But the thing is, he's very active. He's very active with me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'll have to
And
hit
I
him
would,
up. We've had some talks and stuff. I love, yeah, he's an awesome guy.
uh, yeah. So maybe I mean, if it takes building an infrastructure of something and then actually putting it out there and just staying consistent with it.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean? And then so people get used to like what when people wants to look up records, where do they go before old school MMA? Sure dog, everyone goes
Yeah.
sure dog.
And
This is
that's
so.
basically what this was. That's what we were building was where
Mhm.
I really like Tapology. I like how
Yeah,
Tapology works.
exactly.
So we're basically trying to kind of like make a Tapology for Muay Thai and kickboxing and include the amateur, since that's like they really need a lot of an amateur database too. And then also the goal was really to make it easy. So this is actually, you know what's funny was part of it was for me because I would before all this happened I was getting there were so many times where I was excuse me doing basically like I said free matchmaking for promoters, and
Yeah,
it's like eating up my damn time, you know. And I'm like and I can't say no because I care so much about it
you're a
that
fan. Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
like, all right, yeah, I got you, I'll reach out to this person and do whatever. So I was like, man, I just need to build like I need to take this and just put it in a computer,
yeah,
and then you can just type in like I need 165, boom, 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 and then you're like, okay, here's a list of guys right here. They don't, and then there you can like message them through the site and stuff like that. And so
right.
we're gonna get it done at some point. I just kind of dropped the ball on it. When you said
Yeah.
that, I was like, damn, I got to get back to knock around.
Yeah, because we do that. I mean, like I said, I'll help push it. You know what I mean? Right
Nice.
now, not right now. We're kind of hot, right? Everyone's like all over our shit right now. Everyone's like, "Fuck!" I mean, now Triumphant is a fucking, a U.S. name. You know what I mean?
It's
Or even
awesome. Yeah.
internationally. So I would like to be able to support something that's going to help build. Because at the same time, people like yourself are helping me or us.
Right.
And I like it to not just build the fighters. I like to build the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once we've got all that, everything's going to compound so fast and then get us to that point where we can get what do you call it, corporate type of sponsorship
Right.
that's going to support the growth of the sport.
Yeah, there needs to be that foundation and stuff like that where there's like tangible things for people to like look at and be like, okay, this guy has this record and on there I have it. I'll send you some pictures of the layout that I like mocked up. It almost looked like I had it laid out so where they could select a couple photographs of themselves so you could like see them, and it had a thing to upload their sponsors and stuff like that on there too. And then the sponsors have you can click on that and go to they have a page type thing. So almost like a small social media, but has, and then the clickable links. So like if they sit down, because over time it should also start to grow itself a little bit, because like Erin could sit down and type out all the people that she fought and she would put their name in there, and then it'll start to slowly pre-populate people's records as well that way too, because it would say win, loss and stuff like that. So once the more people that got on it, the more rounded out it'll start to become.
And
We
that's
just
the
got to
hard
finish
thing,
it up.
updating them, keeping them updated.
Yeah. And well, and the thing is, like, there will probably be a lot of records on there that'll be wrong for a while, and it'll be up to people to. But what I'm hoping is, like, man, I'm not 9-5, motherfucker, and get on there and fill in the rest of their fights and shit like that. And then I'm like, well, change your shit, make an account and change your shit, get it right, you know. So just that would make it a little bit easier on us guys like us that are trying to need that access to that information a little faster than we can sometimes get it from people, you know. Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Oh, well, let's make it happen.
Yeah, we'll see how I got to get back to work too. There's so much other stuff to do. So tell me what I won't keep you much longer. We've been rapping, man. It's awesome.
I know. This is good. We haven't connected in a long time.
Yeah, dude. We got to hang out a little bit at the, and we touched on that a little bit in Mexico. We had that was such an awesome experience. I was so glad I was there for that. The USMF, they had a meeting. They brought in a bunch of the heads of the USMF, and we had some officials and stuff like that there. Pete was there from TBA's.
Right.
It was really cool, just kind of going over like what we thought we could do as a community to kind of help grow things. And I know your show has been instrumental in that too, trying to do like prestige fights and stuff like that, which I also think is really important, because it's hard, sometimes it's up in the air who should get a spot on the team, and I'm like, well, since we're fighting, it probably does make sense for them to fight for it,
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what like that. I have a good relationship with Corley.
Yeah.
And I think this pandemic is kind of put everything at a standstill. So that's still the plan. We still plan to do prestige fights. I'm very still on board with trying to help. Like I said, like I think of IFMA as the Olympics of Muay Thai, and it has to work both ways. We're going to support them. I mean, just basically those people, the Olympic, like boxing. You know what I mean? They're an Olympic boxer, ends up going pro into, you know what I mean, in the the boxing scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a natural progression. You know what I mean? So one has to help the other, in order for it to just grow as a whole. So. But yeah, anyway, I'll get off that. But what do you got, bro?
Which fights are you most excited about for this upcoming card? I know we talked about a couple of them a little bit.
All right, so here's the thing. It's the fight game. Yeah, we were very fortunate on T9 to where nobody pulled out, bro. Nobody pulled out. Nobody dropped. What they call it, and that's where I think we made such a statement. You know what I mean? It's because it's not just we made the statement, the fighters made a statement. It said hey, these guys want it so bad that they're sacrificing everything. I'll tell you right now, and I think I said it in my thank you post, where we made the biggest freaking investment because I'm still paying for it, guys.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm still paying for them. But the other fighters were paying their own travel, taking not even when I say travel, their own hotel, and even with this show, people are doing it and taking a big cut on their purse. And the thing is, with me, that goes a long way, because when it is time and we do have the funding for it, bro, we're gonna make it up to you. We're gonna,
Yeah, of course.
people who are dedicated or on there. I mean, so anyway, long story short, I just wanted to preface what was going on right now. But their dedication and their commitment to fighting, it made it so much easier on me and my team.
Yeah.
You know, especially doing it in another country.
Right.
And for this one, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's because, you know, the country is coming, or the world is coming back and all this and that. The norm is slowly making its way. But it is, we've had a couple, 2 to 3 changes in, that ended up happening. But, you know, if you understand the way I matchmake in my head, I try to prepare for this before it actually happens. You know what I mean?
You have to.
Yeah. So there was like 2 to 3 fights that I matched around the same weight, just in case 1 or 2 of them fall. So it's like, if it's too much of a what do you call it, a gap, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to have some kind of catch weight. You know what I mean? Yeah, and all that stuff. So anyway, long story short, you probably saw already a couple of posts from the fighters. No Ruelas, no Cody. You know what I mean? That's not happening.
What happened with Cody? Did he get injured or?
No. So here's, you know, I mean, I'll start off with what happened with Zach Bonnell's opponent, Phil Ingeroff. He ended up getting, you know, he ended up getting frustrated and just so, I feel so bad for him, man. He was so gung-ho and everything, and so positive, hyped up and everything. I wanted to give someone like him like a chance. He impressed me from the way he caught my attention. Is what he did. Right. But then the thing is, he's kind of like a solo camp in a way. Manager, training people who's in a coach, you know what I mean? And he you know, and then Canada was coming up with all these last minute out of nowhere decisions and rules about what you can do. You can't come back. You got to pay $2,000 a freaking whatever, this and that. Just you can't. We won't allow you to come back. You got the quarantine. There's all kinds of BS, right? So although Cody had figured that out, you know, with his, because he had a manager, he has a coach, he has a team that's going to take all that stress and pressure off him from having to figure that out. Right. You know what I mean? That Phil didn't have. You know what I mean? So out of all that, you know, it just wasn't a good environment for him to continue. So he, you know, regretfully had to pull out. You know what I mean? Again, it is an investment. You know, I'm sure he put it out there that, hey, it was going to cost way too much, and I'm not looking to pay to fight. Well, you know, you know, I mean, that's kind of what all of us are doing right now.
I mean, I can send him some, what me and Aaron paid in 2017. I think we spent $15,000 traveling to fight. So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you want to fight, you go, you know?
Yeah. And I'm not down in
personally
intention and everything. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Some things, some people are
not everybody can afford it though either.
Yeah. Well, fuck, so I can't afford to throw shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, but no, he's a good guy. He, you know what I mean? And it was unfortunate that this happened to him. As far as Cody goes, I had a backup for you know, I saw that. I don't want to say I saw that I took that as an opportunity to fill in one of the other matches. So obviously Ruelas was out, and that Cody had fought. I mean, not Cody. Zach had fought Ruelas on a week's notice. Took him all the way to the end.
Yeah.
What you know? So everyone's mind was, well, fuck. If Zach had a full fight camp, that might be a different fucking story.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So don't take anything away from Zach. You know what I mean? So Zach is right up there too. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
so I offered that to Cody. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, for the thing, I'm not gonna go too much on the behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But they didn't want it. They wanted what they wanted. They wanted to renegotiate, which I'm like, bro, I'm not the fucking UFC or you know what I mean? I don't. There is no renegotiating, you know, whatever. So, but again, I understand. I mean, everyone has a goal out there, and you know, I guess they they declined. So what ended up happening is they said they were going to talk about it and get back to me.
Yeah.
I found out on fucking social media.
Oh man, that
decided to say
sucks.
no. Yeah, so it is what it is, you know. But so anyway, long story short, with that one, Zach is still fighting. There again, I even have a person in case this one fell.
Yeah.
I mean, I have two
Backups
you know,
on backups.
Yeah. So so I'm actually gonna post it tomorrow. I'm not gonna
All
say
right, cool.
it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. We talk about you were talking about like saying hey, these US guys when they go international, what do you call it? They end up finding someone with like 100 fights, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those cases, and that's why I gotta give Zach that fucking props, is because you know, I mean, I think I saw a post on there like, hey, I'm fighting a guy with over 50 fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true. You know
Zach's
what I mean?
down, man. I'm glad he got somebody for him, because I feel like he always has weird luck with his fights falling through or not getting them and stuff like that.
And I just saw a fucking podcast that he was interviewed on.
Yeah.
And then he goes, man, this is the first fight camp that I've had that my opponent stuck.
Right.
Oh,
son of a bitch.
And this happens. But the thing, it doesn't take it away, because this is you know what I mean? Yes, this guy might be a little bit more experienced, but at the same time, this could do one of two things. It can do it's kind of in the same situation or circumstance as when he fought Ruelas.
Right.
If I beat this guy, fuck, that puts me way up here. Guess what? Maybe one, or maybe me, I could be in maybe after this show, the pay-per-views are so fucking crazy that now I got a little stash of cash that I can start building out the show better. You know, because I only put money or spend money on what needs to happen for right now. We don't have the luxury that that's why everyone is fucking bankrupt. And I'm not 90 million in the fucking hole. Claiming bankruptcy. You know what I mean? Sorry, but Zach is that guy, and that's gonna and like I said, if I can be the one to keep him and keep him happy, you know what I mean? Then so be it. But if not, I would love for him to get picked up by one. I would love for him to get picked up. These guys put so much into their craft, into what they love, their passion, what they're doing. They deserve it if I can't give it to them.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And who knows? At one point, it might come back to me, and that's what built up my working relationship with I don't want to say one, but one and
whoever.
Corey.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll get there. So Zach, like I said, Zach can. This is a positive for Zach. Oh, and it's for a title.
Yeah, that's sick, man. I'm so excited for this damn show, dude. I'm telling you, like, super excited.
So even half the card, bro. Even if that fell, if it was only 4 or 5 fights, it would be worth it.
100%. Yeah.
That's why this is the special edition on there, and that's what I was saying. It was basically it started off with I think 10 fights, pro fights. Usually you put like 5, maybe 6 pro fights on there with a bunch of high level Emmys, right?
Yeah.
That's usually my formula. Like 8 to 10 fights is perfect, because one, it doesn't keep everyone sitting in the stands forever and just waiting to go home, like, because they're tired. But it gives people to go and party and do things and have fun after. You know what I mean? And all that stuff. So we got 9 fights, like solid fights. I think I got 2 more to post out there, but Zach is fighting a killer out there. He's fought on all the big promotions already. And let me see.
And you know, my kid Gary fought Cody.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he fought him on that ECL show, the one that he won the title. So he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight another guy that was like 14-0.
Yeah.
And we were at the airport, and Makai that runs ECL hits me up, and he's like, man, I got bad news. And I'm like, oh fuck. And I'm like, I was like, I know somebody pulled out, obviously, and I'm just worried about what it was. And so Aaron's fight was a go. Aaron fought Scott McKenzie's girlfriend. Man, I don't know why I can't think of names today, man. I'm like, now I feel like shit.
Oh shit! I was just looking at,
isn't it weird when it just pops out of your head? But so Aaron fought her, and Gary's supposed to fight this kid that was 14-0.
Like, whatever that is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I know it's always easy to remember the social media, right? I don't know why I can. She's awesome too. I still talk to her all the time. Yeah, I know, right? What the fuck, man? So Cody stepped up on like 2 days notice to fight Gary, and he came in. He's a fucking machine. He just never stopped, but Gary was just too slick. Like he was blocking everything and just hitting him with big shots and jump flying in him in the face, and did the Lomachenko come on, and yeah,
uh,
man. Hopefully
so
get
so he won.
yeah, Gary won. Yeah.
Wait, so I thought Cody was undefeated.
This was amateur. So I don't know if it
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm on
this
the
was
same.
amateur. Yeah. This
Okay.
was amateur. Yeah. He didn't
Yeah.
think he lost that fight.
Yeah.
He was
Okay.
bitching after he got on the mic and was like, he was pissed.
Oh,
But he definitely lost that fight. He was tripping.
man.
He does a really good job with his output. Like his output is phenomenal. But we're a the defensively strong gym, so it was, we're blocking stuff, and they scored significant strikes, and we definitely had those in the bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a machine for sure. I'm a fan of his fight style. He goes
Yeah.
hard no matter what, even win or lose. When we have good fights, and I always keep my eye on those people, like you said, because you gotta down the road, he might be somebody like, hey man, you want to fight over here or whatever it is. So yeah, it's
You
too
know how
bad.
I got my eye about him was is because he had fought two people from Triumphant before. I mean, that I think that are super good. I know
Yeah,
he fought Kyle Messenger and he fought Lance Dixon. You know what I
that's
mean?
right. Kyle
And,
Messenger was the guy that Luis fought on that card.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, see what I'm saying. So I
Yeah.
like to, if they can hang or they've got that experience, it gives me an idea of what kind of fighter this guy is, and
Yep.
what caliber, not what kind of fighter, but what caliber he is.
Yeah.
So, and then it just he ended up I think it was just, I don't know if it was his ears burning or something like that or something. But I was thinking about him, and then he had made I think someone had made a post and tagged me or something like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
You want to try
this
and
makes
fight?
sense. Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Well, hopefully it works out in the future and get him back on. I think he's definitely a guy that when the people get to see his style, I think people will be a fan of him for sure because he goes for it.
Yeah, I'm a fan. He's super committed. He's very
Yeah.
dedicated. I
Yeah.
just feel bad that he got put in this situation, and
Yeah.
and it was just, the thing is, what I hope him and his team understands is just that it didn't just happen to you. It happened to all of us.
Right. Right. Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah, it's
and
hard. See, sometimes you can't reason with people. And
yeah,
I know I have to like remind myself sometimes even too, because I'm like more of a fighter's fighter coach. Like
yeah,
I've definitely thrown my people into some matchups that we probably should have avoided. But
yeah,
I'm just always so confident in our people. I'm like, well, let's go. Let's find out.
yeah,
Worst thing that
exactly,
happens is we take a loss. We'll learn from it. We'll figure it
right,
out.
exactly.
Uh, yeah, you gotta get in there and push.
It's,
Um,
yeah. Oh, and there is a. I'm trying. I don't. I'll let it happen on its own because I don't want to ruin anything, because I don't want to jinx a miracle. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But I'm still going for the Triumphant 10 special edition with 10 fights, pro fights. That's what I'm
yeah,
still trying to stick with.
yeah.
But so there's but again, I got 9 for sure. One is in limbo right now.
Okay.
So I don't want to say too much
Yeah, don't
about it.
jinx it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can dig it. I can
Yeah.
dig it. Well, I'm excited, man. I can't wait for the show. You want to tell everybody how to watch?
Yeah, bro. So the last show was on Facebook Live. This one isn't, because it doesn't allow us to give shine to any of our sponsors,
Mhm.
which I want to go ahead and kind of and talk about them next. But yeah, it's on Fight TV. So go to anything, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Prime. I actually did it for my wife and my daughter. So when I'm down there, I downloaded the Fight app, FITE app, and get it. It's only like $15. I think not only I think that it offered me to get it for free, because it's something about a $15 credit
Mm.
or something like, or maybe I was watching everything trying to test it out before
Yeah.
before I did a deal with him and shit. But yeah, so I got like a credit, so I could have gotten the show for free. But so yeah, you can jump on that. It starts at 4 p.m. East Coast time,
Okay.
and 1 p.m. West Coast. Let me see. So yeah, it's on multiple platforms. Like I said, Roku, Apple TV. You can even do on a browser. Just go to fight.tv or something like that, and just sign on, create an account or whatever. But super cheap. And I do got to put out there though that, you know, we aren't at a level to where we are backed by corporate type of sponsors, you know, which is going to allow us to give people big purses, pay for all the expenses
Travel
that
and
need to
stuff.
be
Yeah.
paid up and all that stuff. So people are thinking that just because we're throwing shows that we're in that position, you know what I mean? And we're definitely not. So what that does is putting us in a position to ask, hey guys, even if you're not going to watch it, you know what I mean? If you're a fan of the sport, this is going to help us put. No one's pocketing anything. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
No one's pocketing it. Not, I mean, if anyone's pocketing, the fighters are getting that something out of it. But even then, it's nothing compared to what they're putting out for getting ready for the fight. So
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But for right now, we're trying to keep the sport alive. So if anybody can just order the fight to support the sport, that's why I hashtag that all the time. You know, please do it. Tell your friends, tell your families. If you want to see this sport grow, this is how it's going to happen. I'm a pure, genuine pusher of this, and believe and try to make the sacrifice and investment to not only for the show, but it's all the fighters that deserve to be put on that platform. And, you know, like I said, either fight on mine or fight on somebody else's. Key sponsors, obviously Muay Thai Addict is helping me make this happen. We got Athlon Rub, you know, that's that new fucking Thai oil liniment, or whatever, luminant or whatever, liniment, whatever, to warm up. You know what I mean? Those guys been trying to help us, or Anthony. That's what
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
You got Channel Lumber. He's a local sponsor out over here. He's a low key behind the scenes kind of guy, but he loves sports, and when he loves something, he supports it. So he's Channel Lumber is definitely good. And what you will be seeing too is Triumphant is trying to you know, capitalize on everything, and we teamed up with Pharma Extracts to create our own products specifically for the sport. So we got like some CBD stuff. You will see maybe I'll send you a picture so you can put it out there.
I'll put it up on here. Send me the picture. I'll post it right up here.
Yeah, bro. So we'll have balm, recovery balm, tincture, and roll-ons. You know what I mean? CBD and all that kind of stuff, or hemp and all that, so you won't get popped. You know what I mean? And I think we're working on gummies. I need gummies.
Nice. Me too, man. I'm always hurting. Good God.
Yeah. But that's coming out, so that's helping us alleviate some of the pain. But we're still, you know, nonetheless, we're still, you know, making a huge investment and sacrificing and making this stuff happen. So sorry, I know that was a fucking mouthful, but
no, man, we are get it out. The pay-per-views, guys, if you're watching this, the pay-per-views are important. You know, we all talk about it all the time. Why isn't Muay Thai and kickboxing purses as big as like boxing and MMA? And this is a grassroots movement where we can help change that landscape by participating in things like this, which is as simple as just buying a pay-per-view. So if you guys are watching this, and I'll clip this part out and put it on social media too, so we can pump it. Super important to purchase the pay-per-view for this event and any other events that try and put on, because they are putting on important Muay Thai fights and doing it at a time when it's really difficult. So we got to make sure that we stand behind shows like this and do our part to help these fighters get paid. Think of it like it's like a Kickstarter almost. We're helping finance this sport by just participating, and it's not like you're asking for something for nothing, and we get a badass show out of it. It's an even swap.
Yeah. And so just want to put one more thing out there. I know I'm kind of like the face of the show and everything. But the thing is, just like everything else, it's, I have a team, I have a support system. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So none of this can happen without my guys, my Triumphant team, especially Zay Martinez, my COO guy. And then even all our people work to make this stuff happen. No one's really getting, making it like big time. You know what I mean? They're doing it because of pure passion and love for the sport, and because we know they want to be a part of something that's positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that even the guys in Mexico. So I really gotta to give it up to them. Is they gave us the opportunity to keep this going. You know what I mean? So without them, you know what I mean? Again, we'd probably be stuck like everybody. Now I would have found a way to make this
Yeah,
happen.
you would have found a way. I'll be doing that shit on a barge in the bay or something.
Exactly.
I know
Hey,
you,
so
brother.
I'll tell you what, part of that thing, because you learn from every fucking setback, right,
Yeah.
bro? And so what happens, remember, so a lot of people, besides the only people that knew about this is problem that we were approved by the mayor for like 300 people to have an audience of,
Oh, wow.
last time. And we sold those in a second, because our minimum of, we can probably get anywhere about 800 to 1,000 people easy, right?
Yeah.
But they only allowed us this much, so we didn't even push tickets, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, they allowed it, and then the week of the fucking show, someone from the COVID task force, fucking from down there. I don't want to say anything bad about the city or
Of course.
whatever, but they had to do what they had to do, and then someone decided to put their thumb on us and say, you know what, 150 people, and that includes all your staff and your
That's
fighters.
basically, between corners and everybody, you're pretty much right there already with that.
Yeah, and then I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So they what do you call it? How do you what do you call it? Tell 150 of these 300 people which one of you can come in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so
too
there was
tough.
a lot of fucking drama, bro. So with this one, even though there's been people buying tickets left and right. I'll tell you, right, all the VIPs are sold out. The only things left right now is standing room and those individual seats, right?
Okay.
So the people that know where it's actually going to be are the people that purchase tickets and the fight team. I just announced it to them yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
I don't want to wraps.
Exactly. This is a fucking smoker, bro. This
Yeah.
smoker.
That's cool though. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and that's the way I'm trying to. That's what would have happened, if it wasn't in Mexico.
Right.
You know what? I'm not. I'm breaking it. You know what? If I'm breaking the fucking law, right? You know what I mean? Then I guess what? I'm always gonna do my shit on in casinos, Indian reservations, and all this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't mean to disrespect any commission, but hey, you know what? We're not. We're the ones that are in the sport.
Yeah.
We're not governing it. We're self-governed right now because we're experienced and we're passionate about what we do. So we're gonna make it happen regardless. So anyway, that was me on a soapbox.
No, that's dope, man. I'm excited. I appreciate you. I know the fight community appreciates you, and we'll do all our best to get up and stand behind the sport and the show and just keep everything going, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm so excited to have the show to watch next. For me, part of the other reason I wanted to do this podcast, because we have at first I was trying to do them both, but then we're kind of splitting them. So I want you and me will wrap up, and then I'll jump on with my normal co-host. He would have been actually on here today. He had some stuff going on. But we're going to link up and we got some movie reviews and stuff like that. So we do all the like nerd stuff that I'm into too on that one. And you can see here in the background.
Bro. That's some hard shit.
It's good. It's all good. I mean, I feel like I'm a part of two different worlds sometimes, but what's funny is at least in this area, and I think sometimes it might even just be because I called my gym Level Up, like it was like a beacon for all the other like nerds that want to fight people. They're like, that sounds like a place for me, so it's I'm surrounded by all the same people I feel like that are like me, and they come in my office and they're like, damn, this is cool, and I'm like, it's been a fun discovery to find so many people that are into the same stuff that I'm into outside of Muay Thai that also really like Muay Thai too. So we'll make sure we'll be pumping it at the gym. We'll make sure we get a lot of people tuned in. I can't wait to see some of these fights. Can't wait to see what you do next. Obviously pumped for the show in Miami. Hopefully we can get somebody on there so I can come down there and hang out with you.
Yes, sir.
Shit, I might just come anyway just to get out of here. I also got to link you up with my guy. Shout out to my guy Manny. He runs Bushido and some Muay Thai gym in Miami. He's awesome. He's got a really great team. Got some really strong amateurs. Definitely. Are you guys? Do you think you'll have an audience there? Maybe.
Yeah. So here's what's gonna. This is gonna. I mean, I keep saying about special edition. If anything, that's the special edition because it's half my call, half the the
Muay Thai the guys that are
So
all right,
basically, cool. It's a black tie event actually.
Dope. Okay.
So we're looking to get celebrities. We already have people showing up. I mean, it's gonna be like a red carpet kind of thing.
Kind of like the charity thing where you can. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We have some MMA shows that go on. This guy Jonathan Ogden does one like that every year here. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's dope. Yeah, well, either way, I'll try to link you guys up maybe because he's in Miami. He's got some people. He's the plug. Perfect. Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a couple trips out there before then, just to make.
Yeah, I'll get you guys linked up so that way so at least you got somebody with their ear to the ground there in the city and stuff like that. He's good. He's good people. I mean, train some killers. Talk to him all the time. He does all his stuff through Muay Thai Addict too. I actually design all his Muay Thai trunks, and he does them through Muay Thai Addict and stuff like that too. So they know him. Yeah, they know Manny real well as well too.
Cool.
Man. All right, cool. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Anything else?
Thank you, man. I mean, it's not without people like yourself, that are passionate and about the sport, about the industry, about martial arts, that recognize and see some of the things that other people don't see and put it out there. So I'm super honored, and blessed that you actually reached out to me to get on this platform of yours. So thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.